The time is now. We're back to the run. It's like, wow, he's back to the run. I'm in the booth, straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent Daily Planet, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut, rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Playing around with that a little bit. See how my timing's doing. All right, we got the Good Ear production right there. Nice little poster I have now. I'm upstairs today. Oh, I didn't bring my CD though, but you've seen it. YouTube. So let's go through the list. Really, not a ton to talk about beyond YouTube channel. So I guess because I'm doing things that are not really on the list too much, with the exception of anything I do can be put on the YouTube channel. So I don't do anything that can't at some point be put on the YouTube channel. For starters, so I have a couple Alexes I'm working with. Alex, my former coworker, and myself are working on making music, and we're looks like more or less getting together about once a week, which is basically what happened when I made my album, and that's necessary to work probably consistently like that. I found it took 6 months to record that album, getting together once a week. So probably want to check with Alex and see. We got to get. I mean, it's nice to come up with ideas, but we still should be looking at how we're going to record. I think we can record what he has. So I just got to find out what he can record with. I mean, how we're going to do it, and put beats on it. I talked to Garrett, the drummer from the music video. Trump's going to thump. I hadn't heard back from him. I didn't text. I just called him, so I can text him later. Because Alex is hoping for a drummer, which I would too. If we're gonna have more of a band, not just MC and producer, but if he wants to do rap metal, not a type of music I'm very not so much the metal or have been enthusiastically excited about either. Doesn't mean I can't do it, and considering that he's leading the charge, I can come alongside and help however he wants, and we'll work it out. Making lyrics, working on that, and we'll just take it one step at a time. In addition, got my current coworker Alex. So what we're working on is it's like the 80s. It's like the 80s. So talked to Backfire Moto, which is on my mail route, and they have a bar / motorcycle club, or it's a place for motorcycle enthusiasts to gather, and it's been severely restricted because of the 25% rule right now. So like you get 12 people, or allowed to have 12 people in there, and so we're talking about maybe once a month on a Tuesday playing some 80s music. And my coworker Alex shares my frustration, but even more in that if let's say you were 20 years old and you said, hey, I want to hear some 80s songs. Well, what would you do? How would you hear songs from the 80s? Go on the radio would be a good place to go. And if you go on the radio, you're going to hear the same 80s songs and nothing else. I'm not talking about B-side songs. I'm just talking about lots of good 80s songs that just aren't played. So that's what we want to do, is we want to highlight lots of good songs. We both have 45s. I guess he's got us. I don't know how many he has. I know I have a good amount, enough to play a lot of songs for a while. And he's still buying. I haven't been buying anything, but he's still buying them. So if there's something we don't have, he'll probably go get it. So, and it looks like it's going to probably be fine with the venue. And we'll just give that a go. And we're going to stream that live. Once a month is the plan. So that's the update on the YouTube channel. Now, I will say too, That's good news for this channel in the sense that regardless, I'm going to have to splurge, put out the money to make the analog convert to the digital and record. I'm hoping decent quality. We wanted to go to, say, American Music or maybe Musician Trader and talk to them. What's the cost? What are the options just to get going with making that conversion? Our coworker, his name's Mark, who's a DJ, he had some high-end equipment, so he couldn't really speak to what would be a good entry level. And he doesn't have that equipment anymore. He hasn't been doing that kind of DJing, but we're some real beginners when it comes to DJing. But anyway, I guess I even have to have a DJ name, which I won't say just yet because I'm not too excited about it, and I don't know if I'll keep it. I guess he calls himself Buffalo Star, for what it's worth. DJ Buffalo Star. All right. Trump's going to thump. I just need to, like I said, what's left on that is to do just a second, the copyright of the music video, and then I'm pretty much be done with it, short of just promoting it. Check CD Baby, and I don't see any results. It takes a while for the results to come in. What I need to do is find someone who listens to music, however, and see if they can look it up for me. So that will be something I'll get back to you on. I need to do that. My better bread. Sorry, Aaron. I thought I'd get to you last week. I didn't. Thursday's the day. I'm off Thursday. Got to get to you. Rules of engagement. No new news. You will be glorified. No new news. Even though that, let me just wait till I get further down. Bellevue Ballers putting time into that, getting better at it. Hopefully, I'd say yes. I mean, experience increases your aptitude, performance, what have you. My Reformation music video. So our church put out a survey asking some questions about us getting back together. And so, because I want to ask Mike, what's the plan? But realistically, if we did start meeting in person, then that would mean he should, in theory, be spending less time on the digital, and then maybe he can come back and look at this video. It's been a solid year since we dealt with that. And now music and school is nothing going on with those. No sales on the album. How much do I promote it? It's in the tool bag, but I don't lead with it. I mean, it's kind of like if I'm talking about music, I have all these things I can discuss with people. Now, like I said, the 80s thing is great for me because I don't have to perform. I guess you're not even allowed to perform live music. Oh, darn. And just play records and just be a fan. I like that. That sounds good to me. And has a level of success. What's the goal? Play the music, highlight these songs, and get it online. And you're successful in that little thing. So that's good. All right, so that's all for that. Give myself a little space. One thing I'll just share. I was talking to my daughter about this, but this is absolutely the case. Again, I don't know if I've ever shared this, but I think I might have, is that prior to becoming a Christian, I was very focused on the racial issue, I will say. And in school, that's what I studied, probably as much as anybody at Central Washington at the time I was there. I could say that because I would take all the racism classes, and I took the professor who taught all the racism classes, and I was like, I don't know about a protege, but I was right there, wanted to know a lot about it. That was my particular area of interest. When I became a Christian, I found out so much more than that, and I just think for me as a person who didn't have that worldview at the time, I think, I don't know what, At the time, I don't know what I thought in terms of humanity fixing its own problems, or righting a wrong, but um, I sure didn't understand um, man, just the bigger picture of man's sinful nature. Man's going to fall short of the glory of God, and then the question is, how will it manifest itself? So there's always going to be some areas where we're falling short of the glory of God, and that could be individually and or on the whole. And then something that people of faith, and even you won't have to be a person of faith to see an area of injustice and want to do something about it. But I think it was good for me to become a believer because it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, because I felt like this weight on my shoulders, just like, man, this world's not that kind, and we got all this work to do. Anyway, you feel overwhelmed. And I guess when I got to know about the Lord, and I just felt like, hey, God's got it all under control. There's nothing new here. I mean, it might look new, but it's not new. Satan's got his game plan, and all that stuff helps. So then we're driving by close to our house, and we see a sign that says, house church, some kind of church in the house. Like, oh, that's cool. Isn't that cool? They've got a church plant from the house. It couldn't be more organic. But then above it said Black Lives Matter, which that's a disconnect, because that's like singling out a specific type of person. God's not about that. That's all I'll say. That's just not, and that's what when I came to faith, that's what I understood pretty much right away. And so if I don't know what kind of church that is. I mean, it just seemed like that would be a universal understanding. But again, there are false prophets and false teachers. So maybe they do have some agenda. Maybe they're just willfully ignorant. All lives matter to God. Now, if that's not politically correct, then I guess God's not politically correct, because all lives matter. He created everyone. So it's back to the rhyme. All right, so here's the song. Ain't got nothing to take. Ain't got nothing to take. Hey, go ahead and get out my face, because you ain't got nothing to take. I'd have to do it twice. Ain't got nothing to take. Ain't got nothing to take. Go ahead and get out of my face, because you ain't got nothing to take. Started in this world without a single penny. They coming at me now, seems I got plenty. The scene has me with my back against the wall. The pseudo authorities was talking about me a roll call. Not small, it's my means they after. This means they trying to make this my last chapter. This means I'm gonna do what I have to. All right, so I got to make sure I'm clear with myself as the author what my intent is for this song. And I think I've got the Bible here, and I was doing some research in Genesis because I'm writing with Alex, and we're using the Bible as a reference. It's our common ground, and that's a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to see where I might have to look at the I guess I can look online, but the concordance or whatever that talks about dust. You start as dust, you return to dust, that kind of thing. It's really good to have that ultimate perspective. I mean, that is just the absolute bottom line. We start as dust and we'll end as dust. The material world will be nothing. So everything we see and feel and experience is temporal. That's just the way it is. So we want to enjoy this life, but I try to keep in mind that it's not certainly forever. And like my dad's not here anymore on this earth. He's experiencing something. It's just, I really can't believe it, in terms of he's really not here and he's really experiencing something totally different. I don't know what that is. So since that's the case, there is really nothing. Now, there is discussion, biblically speaking, and it's in Timothy. I could read it. Because this is, and then this is a hard one. Let me just talk through it because, okay, what does it mean? I mean, here, and I actually want to share it also because it is, they talk about the love of money is the root of all evil, or they say money, the people who say money is the root of all evil, but it's really the love of money is the root of all evil. And in some translations I've seen say the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, not all evil. But I've been going over Timothy over and over and over and over. I've never done that with the Bible, but it's amazing how I keep coming across new stuff. I must not be really focused all the time. So the reason I want to share it is because, false teachers and the love of money. I'll just read this part. But I want to make sure it's in there. Oh, no. I thought it was here. Uh-oh. I'm going to quickly look again. Maybe it's in a different part. Oh, I think I'll have to get back on this. Sorry. It was talking about taking care of, like a godly man provides for his family, and it really should provide for beyond his family, but at minimum his family. I guess if you've been, persecuted, then it has to be a qualifier. It by no fault of your own. If you're a righteous person and you're persecuted, you're not going to be able to provide for your family. So I guess that's not really an issue. So forgive me for that. All right, so let me just move on. This means I'm going to do what I have to. Not small, and it's my means they have to. This means they're trying to make this my last chapter. Started out this world without a single penny. They coming at me now. Seems I gotta fix how I wrote that. Now seems I got plenty. The scene has me with my back against the wall. Pseudo authorities was talking about me a roll call. Not small, it's my means they after. This means they trying to make this my last chapter. This means I'm gonna do what I have to. Okay. A lot of, and when I'm writing these raps with Alex and stuff, it's kind of nice to rhyme the beginning of the verse. So if I say this means they're trying to make this my last chapter, this means I'm going to do what they have to. It seems, and then so you rhyme that part and you rhyme the end. It's kind of cool to do that. So I'm going to start without even knowing what I'm going to say. It seems. I changed up my pens. I should have stuck with that good pen, but it is what it is. Good for writing. This is good for mobile pen. This means I'm going to do what I have to. It seems. Make this my last chapter. You're trying to make this my last chapter. This means I'm gonna do what I have. I use that term cream. Forgive me. I don't know if I'm even gonna use it because you know the song "Cream" from Wu-Tang Clan. They say cash rules everything around me, but then it almost seems like they use the term "cream" to describe money. Uh, Try it. Uh, Cash was there. Yeah. Okay, that's not good. No. Yeah. Yeah, it's just in a rap song. I don't know if it's used that way, but I was thinking about it. I'm gonna refrain. It seems this means I'm gonna do what I have to. They in for the long term. I'm saying this because I just heard Roger Stone talking about they want him to die in jail, and what he's saying is, and it'll probably go this way for Michael and Dale. They don't want to just go back and forth. They want to totally exterminate, eliminate all opposite. And Rush, God rest his soul, would say this. They're not playing around. They want to totally eliminate the competition. They're playing for keeps. And so the mindset you got to battle that and go the same way yourself. Otherwise, you will get eliminated, or you become one of them. Basically, um, they in for the long term. Hmm. Make no mistake. They ain't. I can't say that. Since I spoke up, it's got to be. Since I since I speak up, it's got to be my turn. Maybe I'll say this real quick. I won't get. I don't want to get specific, so it won't be specific. Um, Let me try this. Um, I guess I don't know how it works in a small town. I don't know if you're in a big city. A big city is more liberal, let's say, and a small town is more conservative, let's say. I don't know that there's anybody in a small town that couldn't handle someone with a liberal attitude and prefers liberal politicians. I don't know if they would be shunned. Maybe, but I mean, to the point where you shouldn't say anything or plan on being shunned. I don't know if there's that because they talk about the extreme left and the extreme right. And if you want to talk in terms of extreme, that is extreme in terms of uh, social discourse and conversation. It's very extreme to say I won't even befriend. or allow myself. I mean, as if and I think it's possible in a big city to surround yourself with people who think like you and don't rock your world and think different. So you can surround yourself with people who confirm your way of thinking. All you have to do is turn on the news and they confirm your way of thinking. You read the newspaper and they confirm your way of thinking. You go to, you go see what's going on in Hollywood and they confirm your way of thinking. And you hear these government leaders, they all affirm and help you realize you're just doing great. So that's why I say I don't think that works if you're someone from a small town. You hear the liberal side of things. You can't avoid it. It's it's like if you look at public schools liberal, and it's in the smallest town in the country, permeated everywhere. So you already are dealing with it. But I literally think if you really wanted to shut yourself off from hearing anything that's in contradiction to your way of thinking, you can do that in a big city for sure, and just isolate yourself and protect yourself and never have to hear the other way of thinking or any other way of thinking. So I just wanted to, I had thought of that one. Okay. So, but it's not like the end of the world. I mean, this isn't full persecution. This is just being shunned, right? Um, Seems they in for the long term. Since I speak up, it's got to be my turn. But should I be concerned? Should finish this verse at least. Have I not yet learned that love for country is dead wrong? Uh, have I not yet learned that love for country is dead wrong? We as a people don't deserve to be strong. Since we're to believe it ain't legit. That you didn't hear that from the one. I mean, that ain't something I'll ever spit. Only wanna spit out what's lukewarm. See you next time.